my whole career, I haven't really had too many great opportunities with a stable quarterback the entire season. Been playing with so many guys is what it feels like, 5 quarterbacks every single season. So I just feel like being blessed with the opportunity to, God willing, have 17 for the entire season, the MVP at that, a top-tier caliber player, top-tier caliber team, top-tier caliber coaches, putting you in position, I feel like it would just be the best position that I've been put in yet.
Elijah Moore, Bills' newest wide receiver, yesterday at One Bills Drive, talked about signing here, playing with Josh Allen, said he'd seen signs along the way, kept seeing 17s. And he is now the newest member of the Buffalo Bills, Elijah Moore.
I mean, sounds like someone who's played a lot of football with Zach Wilson.
Yeah. And Jameis Winston, respect to Jameis Winston. And what?
Flacco.
Deshaun Watson and Joe Flacco and Mike White and P.J. Walker and yeah. And now it's on to Josh Allen for Elijah Moore.
Love the player, like that he's here, and to that point, I like 1 through 5 on the depth chart. Where would you predict he ranks at the end of the year?
In how many catches he gets, targets he gets,
usage.
Yeah, because numbers are tough with this group, ranking them, because Shakir ends up being 1 often, right? Just up receivers, all pass catchers. We're going Kincaid in here too.
Yeah, sure.
Include Kincaid. How many receivers would you bet catch more balls than Moore?
Yeah,
it's tough because Shakir's number, I saw someone post on Twitter, could Shakir get 1,000 yards this season? And the answer I would have to that is, yeah, just throw it to him more. Really, anybody gets more volume, they're going to get this, uptick in the numbers, and I think Shakir could get to 1,000 if he got more targets. So I think Shakir is a clear above him. Yeah. And from there, it gets tough. Coleman, you're needing to see more from him. Kincaid, you need to see more from him. I want to include Curtis Samuel here as well, right? Just because Moore and Samuel aren't that different in that they are guys that when you look at them, you think, if they had a better situation earlier in their career, it might have gone better for them. And for the Bills and Allen, of course, he can – the way to say it often, Joe, is that he can bring out the best in players. But I think really what he does is just he allows their success to succeed. Yeah. If you're a receiver that gets open and your quarterback can't get you the ball, the quarterback that you play with when you upgrade, he doesn't make you better. He just allows you to be as good as you are. Right. And instead of, Zach Wilson not ever looking your way or Joe Flacco throwing an interception instead or Winston or
guys
whatever.
Just missing you even, where you are open and 40% of your balls are uncatchable.
Yep.
What are you supposed to do?
Sometimes it's the design of your offense. Sometimes it's the quality of your teammates. Sometimes, know. And I think there's probably more of an appetite for the Bills to get guys like this and shine them up a bit with this offense. It's something that, I think a lot of people subscribe to going back to Beasley and Brown, who came in and did really well. And you could even go the other way when it's McKenzie and Davis, who are pretty good here, go somewhere else, and they just disappear. Mm-hmm. So Allen allows any receiver that you bring in to live up to their full potential, I guess is the way that I would say it, provided they're healthy and on the field, which is something that, Curtis Samuel did not have last year for a lot of it, and Coleman, same thing. So where would he slot in? It's a really tough question.
I think I've got my eye on the number 3 spot for some reason, because I don't think he has it in him to come over top of Shakir. I think Shakir's got his role. He's good. He's so good at it that role is entrenched. And I kind of want to bet on Kincaid's going to bounce back from last year. Like, there's a health thing there, right? But at the very least, it's going to be the usage rate from his rookie season. So I think Kincaid's going to bounce back from that. Like, if you ask me what's the more likely breakout of the two, Kincaid or Coleman, I would pick Kincaid. So those are the two guys I think are going to be higher. But neither one, like those guys, they kind of win at the same levels of the field. Kincaid and Shakir to some extent, right? Kincaid might be a little more up the seam sometimes, you would hope, and Shakir's more like the orbit motion in the backfield and screens out wide. But there's overlap there. I don't know that I want to bet on the breakout from Coleman. And if I get Kincaid to bounce back and Shakir, and that Coleman breakout doesn't come, like I think Moore could easily be your third guy. Like, that's within the range of outcomes that's likely. I think him being like the third guy is very open.
The thing I wonder most about him is third guy, first guy, sure, right? I mean,
third guy, right? Third guy, like last year, third guy was 57 targets,
right?
So, like, I'm not saying he's going to be force fed by any means. It's kind of in their own mentality. Everybody eats. Okay, to me, what that means is everybody's going to get a chance. Everybody's going to get an opportunity to produce. Now I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be the best at it.
Fair.
You're all going to get, something around 50 targets. You're all going to get a certain package of plays that are designed for you and concepts that are better for you than others. So if I got 7 guys that are all going to have an opportunity to produce, now it's just who the most efficient player is. And there are a lot of tells in Elijah Moore's game and in his career and what he was as a prospect that to me says, yeah, that's a more efficient player than other guys that are lower than him, like maybe Coleman.
Yeah. I wonder if we are, to this point, Elijah Moore, did we see his number, by the way? Because PFF
jersey number?
has a jersey number for him right now.
I hadn't seen it.
And they have him at 18. I don't know if he wore 18 in Cleveland last year. Anyway,
he wore a single-digit number in Cleveland. I know that.
Well, maybe he's going to wear number 18. No.
He wore 8 in Cleveland.
Okay.
And 8 was... We did. Oh, Terrell Bernard.
8's Terrell Bernard now.
So 8's taken.
Anyway, the point I'm going to make on Moore, maybe we're overestimating what the Bills can get out of him. If you go PFF and their grades on receivers, Moore, which usually they're going to pull that out of the offense. It's not just going to grade him on production. It's going to be how did he do on his routes. And they put him firmly as the bottom receiver on the Bills depth chart. Shakir, Cooper is still included here. Coleman, Palmer, Samuel, Moore. So still near the bottom. So because of that, I want to temper expectations a little bit. But there's some separation skill set. What I get to on this conversation every time, it's kind of like pulling back. Let me ask a conceptual question for everybody. Because last week when we got into it with the Bills GM, it was about how many points they scored per game. Mm-hmm. And I think you might have 2 factions of Bills fans. Both would agree the offense was great and a great offense. There are 2 sides to the story. One is, should I evaluate you on your year? And the other is, should I evaluate you on your last game or even your last drive? Because you're asking me, is Elijah Moore going to slide in 3-4? Where's he going to be? And I'm only thinking, when they need a play, who do they throw to? Mm-hmm. Who is he in the mix to do that? Is Coleman in the mix to elevate enough this year where, hey, it's 3rd and 7? This is the conversation we had yesterday with Carl Jones from Channel 4 about it's a money down. It's a big moment. You're in Baltimore in a playoff game. You're home against the Chiefs, and it's 3rd and 8. Who are you looking for? Mm-hmm. What's the play here? And asking that to be Elijah Moore, that might be asking a lot. Maybe he finishes 3rd on the team in targets. Maybe he's super efficient and he grows into something really important. But that's, to me, what the season will be about, is who do they feel like can win for them in a moment like that? Because that's what was ultimately missing on those final couple of plays. They didn't have that guy. That's why they're throwing behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So in that, everything goes the same. You're the number 1 offense, the number 2 offense. You get to that game against Kansas City, and it's 4th and 6. What's the call? We know our play. We're going to Dalton Kincaid because they can't cover him here. We're going to go to Keon Coleman, who's going to bully ball his way down the field like he has all year long. To me, the year will be about finding that out. I don't have any doubts or really any reservations about their offense being great again.
Yeah.
It'll continue to be, though, getting towards who I trust the most in that money moment.
It's like an NBA conversation in
who's taking the last shot.
Who's taking your last shot? Because you can have, like, in that sport, I think it's much more exaggerated than in football. You could have a great 82-game season and a great first round of the playoffs and everything, and like your team could be really good 1 through 10 on your roster. But if you don't have a superstar to take your last shot deep in the playoffs, you're not winning anything. And that's a little bit of what...
Is that the Rockets?
Yeah, sure, right. Like, that's a good overall team all the way through, and they didn't have a guy to take the most important shot.
2 seed, and they go to the playoffs, and they lose in the first round. In Game 7, they don't show up. And
right.
A lot of what you do is look back and say, well, man, the way you finished, do I reevaluate what I thought of you during the season?
Right, and the difference here is, like, because quarterback and receiver in a spot like that, I need two guys to be able to take that shot. I've got one of them, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, I've got LeBron as one, but I need a second part of it because of the nature of the sport. And, yeah, I don't know, like, I know what they would probably tell you, which is that they'll throw it to whoever's open on the play. But you're gonna pick a play out. Joe Brady's going to pick a play that is more designed for one person on the field than others, right? There are clear out routes on a play. There are misdirections on a play where one guy is running this way because his job isn't to catch the football. His job is to take the linebacker 3 yards over here to open it up for this person who we're going to throw it to. Mm-hmm. And that last play on fourth down where we don't really even get to see it because the Chiefs blow it up, who is that designed for?
Shakir.
It's designed for Shakir out of the backfield. And maybe they would tell you that's their play again.
Well, they ran it on fourth down during the season. It was very successful.
It was.
It was a go-to play that worked quite a bit.
Right. Do they feel like they can run that all the time again? Like,
yeah. I mean,
we see it coming.
Honestly,
like I'm not saying it's not a play that doesn't work and they should never do it, but you see Shakir orbiting like that, and if you're a Bills fan that watches every play of the year, you know exactly what that play is.
You think you know what's coming, yeah.
Right, so there'll be ebbs and flows, and there'll be changes they have to make to the offense, and I mean, what's Joe Brady doing from January to August? He's probably coming up with new plays, or he's talking to other coaches around the league that he's getting inspiration for it, so he'll have plays. I don't know how I feel, though, about a situation like that where, what was it, 4th and 5?
4th and 5.
4th and 5, that I kind of have a play out of the backfield. That almost to me feels like I've got LeBron as my quarterback, but he's not taking the shot. You know? Mm-hmm. I'm passing it off to the wing. Like, no, I want a situation where he's taking the shot, and to me that is more a play where I've just got 4 guys lined up, and he's got 2 options on the play, both of which are just, you're in a spot to get open. That's it. Run a route and get open. And your elite quarterback is going to use his arm, or he's going to buy time if he needs to, and he's going to find you. Because that's not really what the orbit motion play is. The orbit motion play is a play that Tua can run.
Right, so is the screen on 3rd and 10, which is part of the idea about maximizing Allen. You know, if you had to do it over again, 3rd and 10 in Kansas City, you know, it's not the kind of question Joe Brady will probably get all that often, but if you had to do it over again, 3rd and 10, I think looking back, did Allen check into the screen?
I think the talk after was that he checked into the Cooper screen.
Right, so I don't know what the play call would have been, but it's 3rd and 10 on the road in the AFC Championship game, and
they did the double tap on the helmets.
Right, and he checks into that, which might have been a good call. Cooper slips on the play. If he doesn't slip, does he get the first down? You know, like that's a part of it. There's so many fine points and small things that undid them that day. I mean, the defense had a rough day. They had some injuries. It's one excuse you can throw in there. But past that, like, the offense had small misses. Kincaid doesn't come up the ball on 4th down. If he does, we have a different story to the offseason.
Man, everything is...
Maybe they score, maybe they don't, but we have a different story instead of Kincaid drops the ball on the final play.
That's why I stopped myself. I want to say everything is different because they still had 30 yards to go.
Yep.
It was just past midfield, that ball, if it had been completed.
To tie, right, if you want to kick for the tie. They'd probably go like 20 yards to go.
Oh, we could have had a conversation with that.
Should they have kicked?
If they
like the year before, that's
the ball.
Yeah.